It's crazy. As a kid, you watch these teams and you can't believe you're getting to play in the stadiums that you play in. It's a joy to be here. We just came from a dive bar in Boston. They're going to get kind of the same speech you did. I think being this far north, Detroit sometimes gets a bad rap of, well, they don't know country music up there. This place has always been a safe haven for us. I don't know why either, because I don't blend, and everybody treats us so sweet. So we're really looking forward to this. On sale day, it kind of enforced that for us. It was very sweet, the numbers that showed up. And you just hope the people that come here tonight hope that all that they have to go through to get here, hopefully is worth it for them. Never been much at opening speeches. I'd much rather have a conversation with you. So if you want, we'll just open it up. We don't have anything that we have to state officially or anything, right?
Nothing official.
Okay.
We spoke a lot about the Gershwin work that's coming up.
Oh, sweet. Sweet. Yeah, we'll probably stay away from that. It's very flattering, very humbling. It's very sweet. But yeah, if you just don't mind if we talk, if you would just introduce yourself to me, then I'll know who I'm talking to. You want to start with you?
Sure. I'm Danelle from Fox 2.
Hi, Miss Danelle.
Can you talk about the in the round stage you've got going on?
Yeah, the weird thing is always if you ever see in the round staging is usually pretty small. This is a pretty massive stage, so it's probably about 130 feet wide, maybe 100 feet deep. So Fatboy Slim's going to have some ground to cover tonight, tomorrow night. But it's also always kind of raked. All staging is. Same way your lighting rig's always kind of raked, so it plays out front. Everything here is flat. So it's going to be, this is new for me, so I wish we could talk after Saturday night to tell you how it feels. But to know that you're going to have people right here, if you look behind you, you got these same people there. I think it's just going to be like eating 2 bowls of ice cream instead of 1. I think this is going to be fun. And so the thing is, we got wings that are up that are new. Some of those are causing some sight problems, so we're elevating those people and just trying to figure it out. This is going to be the first night for this stage. So hopefully, if we're lucky enough for someone to come back to the show somewhere else a year from now, hopefully they'll see the stage modifying and changing around and hopefully getting to where every seat is perfect is the goal. But in the round's fun because when you sell these tickets, you can tell people come in thinking I'm behind the stage. And then when they see you come out of the hole and you're this far from them, looking right at them, you can just see it in their face. And if that starts like that, then you know you're going to have a great night all night long. Because as an entertainer, every row now is front row. But if we can keep this just between me and you, if I'm not getting what I need out of this part of the crowd, right. I watched Bruno Mars do this. He's fabulous at it. By the time he gets back to that side, because he waits a long time, by the time he gets backside, they're nuts over there because they get it, right? So it's fun. It's kind of like a party. Yes, sir.
Adam Graham with the Detroit News.
Hey, Adam.
How you doing?
Good, man. Thank you.
When you played 6 nights at Joe Louis in 2015, this stadium was here. Seems like 1 show, maybe 2, a lot easier on you than 6 nights a week in Detroit. Why stadiums now?
I think for us, you remember there's everybody else's opinion of what you got to do, then there's your own.
Sure.
We had to earn it. Because I come from the school that stadiums are for the Rolling Stones. Stadiums are, those are big shows. And you have to earn your place that way. So what happened, Adam, I don't know if you're familiar with our history. 96 through 98, we did the world tour where we set the American record for tickets. Then we went home to raise our babies. 2014, when we decided to come back out, we wanted to place a 3-year tour just like 96 through 98, almost the same buildings again, to see where we were at. So once that established that we broke the record we set in the 90s, then all of a sudden we said stadiums. So we felt like, whether this is egotistical or not, we felt like we had earned it. Mm-hmm. We're, in the fact of touring, try to remember we toured 8 years in the 90s, and now we're on our 5th year here. So 13 years of touring is all that's happened over these decades. But hopefully we have earned the right to step here and play here. And hopefully have a show that these people feel is even more intimate and hopefully better than the arena shows were. But that's going to be their call, not mine. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hi, Edward Vivos from NLive News.
Hey, Edward.
Last year you had a really cool surprise. You came out of DCD at the Hoedown. How does something like that, I can't imagine you do that very often, something like a big surprise like that. How did something like that kind of come about?
I think it's just, you got to remember, man, for as long as we've done this, you have some radio guys that's been playing your stuff that whole time, right? So it's very sweet. So what it is was it was a marking of the anniversary, and if Mandy's in here, she could probably help me. But it was the marking of the anniversary of the first gig we ever played, which was the Hoedown when it was downtown. Now, you got to remember that night, very special for me. I opened that show because we were new. But that night, I sat across the hotel from outside the window, and I saw George Jones perform that night. That's it for me, man. He's my guy. So Haggard's the greatest ever. Jones is the greatest voice ever for me. So that was a big night. So when they said the 20th was coming up, then we thought it was fun, good to do it. And everybody was really sweet. You walk out with just a guitar. You kind of played about the same amount of time because you popped in on them as you did the first time, except this time they kind of knew the words to all your stuff, and that made it a lot of fun. So you were playing, I don't know if you were there or not, or if you heard, but we kind of played half versions of songs because you're only out there for a little bit. But if I got to see Straight, I would want to hear Amarillo by Morning, The Fireman. I'd want to hear all these. So you went through the list, and they knew them very well, as like I said, as Detroit does. And we're very lucky. So that was fun. I can tell you this, if I have as much fun tomorrow night as I did then, I'm going to be a real happy camper. Yes, sir.
Gary Graff from Billboard.
Hey, Gary.
How are you? If you don't mind, talk about the Gershwin Award a little, because that's an award for song. It's not about performing or stadiums or record sales. So what's that mean for you as a songwriter, and what does it mean to you to be a songwriter?
It's everything. That's what it came for. You know what? When I was lucky enough to go in the Hall of Fame, the first line of the induction was, people don't know this, but this guy came here to be a songwriter, not an artist. That made me very proud that they did their homework. I moved to town to be a songwriter. I moved to town with a song called I'm Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old. And my whole thing was to get George Strait to cut it. That was and then I could die happy. I was done. But in it, a guy named Bob Doyle saw what he says, something more than just songwriting. And so he kind of breathes life into that. So, but a songwriter, you guys, big sports town, you guys know this. Every quarterback wants to be an offensive lineman. It is too. They want to be treated like the O-line. They want to bump heads. That's what I want. I want to be a songwriter. If somebody says this guy has the most this or most that, I don't care about that. But if somebody describes me as a songwriter, that makes me feel like I did what I came here to do. I'm getting the Gershwin Award, but if you'll look, there's not many, if any, songs that are written by just one name. So I'm going to accept that in the honor of Kent Blasey, who took me in, Kim Williams, Jenny Yates, Jiminy Christmas, Victoria Shaw, Pat Alger, Tony Arata. I'm going to take it with these guys that, Mitch Rossell, Brian Kennedy, these writers that have given me the success that I have because their name's on the same song. So it's going to be a shared award. But it's awfully sweet because the award's only good as the names that are on it. And if you look at the names on that one, that's pretty cool.
Do you know who all is going to be taking part in that? I know they said Keith is definitely who all is going to be part of it.
Oh, yeah, I know. I don't know if you're supposed to know yet. So that's all I
I
know.
said we could.
Oh, yeah. Mom said it was okay? Okay. Yeah, well, yeah. It's awfully sweet because these people, it's PBS. So naturally, the money that they're going to give somebody to come there's going to be huge. Right. So these guys are basically doing it on their own dime and coming out, and that's very sweet, especially since it's March. They're at the height of the launch of the touring season. So these guys making time for Garth Brooks is flattering and humbling. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Christy Strasser, WYCD.
What is your first name?
Christy.
Hi, Miss Christy.
Hi, Mark.
Great.
So tell me about the Detroit crowd as it compares to other crowds when you play a stadium tour like this.
Oh yeah, it's no different from your sporting crowds. We tell everybody, you come to Detroit, bring your helmet because it's just going to be. They're just passionate about their stuff, man. So before you were born, we played here in the '90s. And I'm sitting here playing in the late 90s, and something comes out of the crowd, and I don't see it till late, and I'm thinking, oh, this isn't going to be good. It hits me right across here, and I catch it, and it folds out, and it's a Detroit Red Wings jersey. Now, this place goes through the roof. And that's when I was going. It was like the first night of a few nights that we were going to get to play there. I said, this is going to be stupid fun. So it was that moment where you said, you know what? Let's treat this like a sporting event. Let's get this roller coaster ride going. Let's get these people involved. And from that day forward, when you get people involved in your show, you don't have to do anything. It's crazy. I don't want to jinx myself, but with the Detroit crowd, usually what you do is you start a song, they take it. When they're done, you start the next one, they take it. It's the easiest gig on the planet. So it's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they came here to sing. That's all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Brian McCollum.
Hey, Brian.
Can you tell us a little bit more about this talk you just mentioned? You say you just came back from...
Oh, yes. So I'm lucky enough to be involved with a foundation called Teammates for Kids. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary. Started with baseball. Major League Baseball started with about 30-something players, representing maybe 8 to 16 teams at that time. And now we're in every professional sport, thank God. If we haven't passed it yet, we're approaching 5,000 athletes strong. And what these guys do is they contribute money kind of based on their own performances. So RBIs, touchdowns, interceptions, shots on goal, all that stuff. And then our job as a foundation is we triple that money. And then, so let's say if my all-time guy, Al Kaline, if I'd have been around then, for anything that he did, he would pledge, say, $100. And so our job is to turn that into $300. And then 100% of that $300 goes to kids. Overhead's privately funded, so we never touch the kids' money. So it's cool. So we do these things now called Stay in the Game, where we go talk to young student athletes about being teammates. And stay in the game is another way that we never mention the word suicide. But we're losing a lot of our kids, and maybe the majority of them, to suicide, which is at that age, my God. Because we're all lucky enough, some of us in this room are lucky enough to be my age. So you live this long, you realize how not worth it what you trade your life for is as a child. And now with social media, even worse. So it's just coming in there, just making sure that they understand they're not alone. They have teammates. We talk about even a higher version 2, whatever your belief is. You don't try and push that belief on somebody. But as a walking, talking example, I can't walk into a room without saying, well, of course, I believe in Jesus Christ and God. That's my thing. It doesn't have to be yours. But, make no mistake, I never feel alone. And then we talk about setting goals, talking about teammates, talking about helping each other out. Loving one another. A lot of love. A lot of the word love goes on. So it was cool. So Coach Patricia, he's one of those guys that whatever he said, I just said, well, I got to say that because we just think the same way. They talk about love in the locker room. They talk about what happens when negativity comes into the locker room, what social media comes in the locker room. And it's exactly what these kids need to hear. Because if they're student athletes, 9 times out of 10, they've had the courage to take that leap to come here. And so they can also carry other people's weight. So other students on campus, just tell them to reach out, contact, love one another. Don't bury yourself in your own world. Reach out, love one another, because that's how we all become stronger. So that's kind of what the talks are about. Good questions today from the kids. Really mature questions from the kids. Yes, sir.
Max from Channel 7.
Hey, Max.
You were here 5 years ago. Now you've got a larger stage, a larger stadium. What else can you expect?
It's still all going to come down to music, always. So no matter how you dress it up, it's still going to be that set list that you play. But I think what the thing is here is the fact that this is one night. So when we did come back and we did do whatever many nights we did here, this is one thing. So here's the blessing and the curse is it's going to be one special night. So let's all get in a room and get after it. And it's going to be on a Saturday night, which is great. Because when we were here last time, you picked a Tuesday, whatever the availability was of the building. So that's the blessing. The curse is you get one shot at it. So if you suck, right, you're going to suck. And this is one of those towns that you don't want to suck in. because they'll let you know really quick. And it's just, it's nothing bad against town, but they're going to let you know. And so you're going to read it real quick. You're going to hopefully figure out what they came here to hear. The fact that we've been here before helps us. But at the same time, every show is its own. So we'll do our stuff. We're going to try and stay away from the stuff you're going to think we're going to do, because that's entertainment. Because we do what you think we're going to do here everywhere else. So I've already seen a lot of guesses of what's going on, which I love to see that, because my job is to yank your ass left and right and take you on a roller coaster ride. And when it's over, you don't know what's coming next, but whatever comes next is perfect. That's my job. And if I suck, I don't get that done. So I think that's what you do, is you take them, and I know you're not going to like this answer, but during the show, you learn a lot. So this band is and crew, all the tech guys, because they got to make all the adjustments too, they're locked into me, because they know I'll yank that set list out underneath their feet in a heartbeat, because we're going to go somewhere else because the crowd's calling for it. So they know they better be ready. Yes, sir.
Hi, Gary. Cliff Smithers.
Yes, sir.
K100.
How you doing?
Good. Kind of piggybacking on that, how much preparation goes into one of these stadium tours as opposed to, say, a dive bar?
Well, yeah, dive bar is just, come on. Dive bar is just, try to remember where you parked your car. That's all. That's it. You're going to go in and you're going to look like this at a dive bar. And you're going to come in and they are going to eat you up. They are. They're just going to eat it up. And you talk about no work at all. You're up there slinging sweat, but the only reason is because it's hot and it's packed. It ain't because you're working, man. They're having a great time at the dive bar. Those are easy. Those are fun. Real low pressure, low, everything. And those are fun. I could do those all day long, because that's kind of where we came from. The one great thing about the dive bar that marries with this is know that the drummer you'll see tonight played every dive bar I ever played, because we did it since day one. Oh, wait a minute. Keyboardist, same way. Oh, wait a minute. Steel player, same way. Oh, wait a minute. Acoustic guitar was my college roommate. We've all been through this forever. So that's the fun of it. That's what makes a stadium a dive bar for me, is look around and see Dave Gant, who's played the dance since day one, to look over there and see Ty England start, much too young to feel this damn all, since day one. Those are fun things right there. So I think that's it. My job is to try and shrink this place down to a dive bar, because as much of a guy as I hate to admit this, size matters. It just does. So if you can have 300 people at a dive bar singing unanswered prayers, wait till 70,000 of them are singing unanswered prayers with that same intensity. I mean, it's like, boy, it's just something that just goes through you. And you'd think as a grown man, you get used to it. All you do is sit there and try not to cry in front of people, because it's amazing to get to see that. And then, I think any interview you ever do in a magazine or whatever, what they're trying to ask when they ask the question, if there's one song you never had to sing again ever in your life, what would it be? And everybody wants it to be Friends in Low Places. What nobody else gets is, I haven't sang Friends in Low Places in 25 years. I start it, then I watch it. I don't even have to be in the building. But I don't know if you guys saw the playoff game against Tennessee, Kansas City, Tennessee, halftime. Here comes Friends in Low Places. It is so loud, I am worried that if we ever play Kansas City, it's not going to be that loud when we're there. So they were singing that, so they don't need Garth. So that's why the fun of that song is. It never gets old. It's always fun to get to do. And so it's, when you think about it that way, for me, each show is its own. But I think what makes the stadium show fun is if you shrink it to a dive bar, now you've packed 60,000 people into a honky-tonk, and now it's really going to get fun. Yes, again, sir.
Talk about sucking. You don't have a reputation for sucking live. What kind of self-analysis do you go through after a show to determine whether or not you thought you sucked that?
Same one you.
And how often does that come about?
Same one you do, man. This was the fun about having show after show after show, was if you sucked 15 minutes, you were going to get another shot at it, right? Uh-huh. Or if something needed to be fixed, guys, this next show, it's starting an hour, this shit's going to get fixed, and we're going to do it right, and it's going to be smooth. Here, you got one shot at it. So it's like anything like you. You guys know when you get done whatever you've done, if you sucked at it or not. that crowd might be going nuts. Those reviews might be going, hey, best thing I've ever seen. But in here, you know you blew it, right? So it's just being honest with yourself. But the truth is, this is what we talked about when you said, what did we talk about to the kids over there? Well, one of the things that our generation has taken away from my daughter's generation, is we took losing away from them. Everybody gets a participation trophy, everybody gets a blue ribbon. Well, it's that losing, that taste in your mouth that doesn't want it to happen again, that drives you to get better. And when you sit in the hotel room, or you're on that, you're in the truck moving out of the stadium, everybody might be patting you on the shoulder, but if you're sitting there going, dang it, I just wish, that's the feeling you don't want. That's losing. That's the feeling you don't want. So hopefully you work during the show while the show changes underneath your feet. Hopefully you read it, make the adjustments, and hopefully you come out a winner. Yes, ma'am.
Personally, Christy, at
Yes,
WYCD,
ma'am.
it just makes me think personally, do you ever let your kids lose?
Oh yeah, that's the only way they're going to learn. I mean, you see the train wreck coming, and I'm telling you, Miss Christie, do you have babies?
No.
Okay, so you're going to have babies, and once you have babies, well, first of all, before you have babies, when you're a teenager, you're scared of everything, and then something happens in college, and all of a sudden you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof, your mouth right in body, but you don't care. And then when they hand you that child, first one, you're scared of everything again. So you tend to do a lot more praying when that happens. So with children, sometimes you just have to step back and say, God, please take care of them. Let them survive it. Because if they survive it, they're going to be a lot wiser. But was it Thoreau that said the greatest lessons in life cannot be taught? They have to be learned. So that's tough as a parent to do that. Anybody that's a parent knows that's probably the hardest part. Yes, sir.
We get an update, please, on phone?
We something has happened at the very last second that might have a song make it on there. So we're exploring that over the next 2 weeks. I'm supposed to deliver it by March 1st. So it'll be in production throughout March and April. So I'm looking like summer at some point. But we have some different kind of, as you know, being in the business, music retail is totally different than what it was 5 years ago, way different than what it was 10 years ago, right? So now new ways to bring the music to the people are out there, and we're going to explore those new ways this summer. And when I talk to you and I look at you, that means I'm hoping that was a good enough answer to that, and we can move on.
You want to say what some of those?
No, I don't. I don't. But what I like is very much direct to consumer. I like that because as much as I love the big box retailers, hell, I work for one. One sponsor is Amazon, is a big retailer. I've had lucky enough to have relationships with Walmart and Target as well. But even in those, if you go in there, the section of music is totally going away. So if it's not already gone. So how retail looks now in the future is a little different. So now relationships with Best Buy, these places like Costco, all these places that are direct to consumer really work well. Everything from military to, I'm telling you, the guys I think have it figured out. I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I think these guys have it figured out as Dollar General. Because what they've done is they've set up they have 1 million of these stores everywhere. You can't drive, but now they're starting to raise what they have available is now starting to raise in price, therefore hopefully in quality. And I'm thinking you're going to get to see on a real working guys and working women's kind of level, I think you're getting ready to see a chain actually just explode with a great communication on a personal level instead of the big, cold, massive shelves, if that makes any sense. Yes, sir.
I saw earlier some of your band, or your band went to the Motown Museum.
Yes, sir.
And you're in a city with just this incredible music history. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's everything. It's also explains to me why your people, hope you take that right, is so educated on their music because it's passionate around here. And this is where a lot of music was born. And guys, you can look at me and you can go exactly what I'm thinking. Square white guy, right? I mean, just straight out of the middle of Oklahoma. But the music that was born in this town affected my house so much that it then shaped my life and my music. So as square and white as I might appear, all those roots of all the music that was created here is in our stuff as well. And hopefully we will play stuff and And this town, maybe that's why this town's always been so sweet to me. I'm hoping there's something in the music that resonates with them, that makes them feel like somehow this guy's talking to me. Because that's what you want. We can go to concerts all day, we can get the shirt and say we were there. But truthfully, the greatest ones are at the Thanksgiving table. If your family's like mine, there's going to be a fight break out every Thanksgiving. And if it's over who has the best concert, you hope your name is brought up at that table somewhere. Yes, sir.
Matt Markham with Q Country
Hey, Matt.
107. So to piggyback off of him, when it comes to music, you like are the epitome of the '90s sound.
Right.
And not to call you old, but
Right.
you've been around long enough to see how country music has formed and evolved. What's your take on it? Seeing nowadays so many crossovers, BB Rexa, Dan and Shay doing stuff with Justin Bieber. How cool is it to see to go from what you did in the '90s to what it is nowadays?
Yeah, man, I think all that stuff's cool. You're not old enough to remember, but when we came out, we were the bad guys. That's not country music. And you're going, shit, me two of a kind working on a full house isn't country music. No, it wasn't. Because you're the new guys. So all the new guys always take the crap. Because the new guys, like Motown influenced them, like Seeger influenced me, Boston influenced me, that sound now shows up in Garth Brooks stuff. Well, what are the kids today influenced by? Hip hop, street, all that stuff. So you're seeing it come over into country music. The only thing that I hope and pray for is that country music itself as a format doesn't lose its identity. Because the truth is, if you can hear the same stuff on country that you can down there where they have Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, all these people that are in every movie, every headline, the listener is going to go, well, I don't know what we're here. But if country music only has what they have and it's the only place you can get it, then that makes country music go, if I want music that speaks to me, that I think's telling a story that relates to my life as a dad or a mom raising 3 kids on my own, country music's going to be where I live. That's the only thing. So it's I preached this and then pled with it for country music for 3 decades. Just don't lose your own identity, no matter how many crossovers there are. And then the main thing, man, be proud to be country. That's the thing. Don't, because in country music, you know it, at Billboard for sure, you guys are here, you understand country music gets treated a lot like the distant cousin sometimes. But make no mistake, we have the best audience. We have the most loyal audience. And I am speaking from experience. We have the largest audience on the planet. These records that are being set, take Garth Brooks' name off of it, put country music in it. Country music's going to virtually have every record that can be out there. So that makes me very, very proud. So that's the only thing within our own format. If somebody's kind of talking low about being in country music, that's the only time I get upset. Just be proud, wave that flag, and know that we're very, very lucky to be in this business. Okay? Is that good?
I think that's it.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.